Hello, you are listening to Feel Good, the podcast. I'm your girl, Malika Lee, in the building. There was a message on my heart I wanted to share called basically the progress in mess, or letting your mess be progress. Okay, what do I mean by that? I'm in a state of inner renovation, and so many things in me are changing, which also means that so many things that may have felt aligned at one particular time in my life don't feel quite aligned anymore. And the podcast title being one of them. So I have a coach, and he, is challenging me as a coach should do, and that I want a coach of mine to do. And he said how Feel Good, the podcast was a bit not fully aligned with the messaging was not fully aligned with who I am and my authentic expression, as far as matching my depth, as far as putting myself out there a bit more. And then, the title also being like, does feel good mean physically feel good? So it being unclear. So he was right. And so I'm going to be changing the name of the podcast and going through a rebranding. And there was a part of me, a big part actually, because it became clear that the new name, he was right. And I already have the name. I'm not going to put it out right now, I don't think, but I will soon. And there's a big part of me that didn't want to move forward and to share this without making everything line up in this behind the scenes first, right? Like doing the new thumbnail and the rebranding and blah, 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 blah. And those things definitely serve their purpose and will happen. But then that voice within, that whisper was like, let your mess be part of the progress. And how often I would like to say I'll say a recovering perfectionist, but how often do we let perfection or our ideas of perfection get in the way of progress? Like there's a part of me and messages are coming, and I've been pumping the brakes on those and not putting it out because I haven't had all my ducks in a row, quote unquote. And so in this day and age with, filters on the pictures and all these things of not being real, and real is one of the things, and authenticity is one of the things that I want to start sharing more and more of my experiences. And I will, and I'll tell you a bit more about what to expect in another short episode. Don't worry, I'm still going to have the long form and have great conversations, but I'm also going to be adding shorter conversations and insights of just me talking and being with you. I've been on this road a long time, and I said I want to keep it real and give you the real tea from my personal experiences on spirituality. So more on that later. But this is uncomfortable of not having everything kind of ironed out before I put it out there. But I want to do that because that's what's real. That's what's true. And progress, if you ever experienced having your home remodel, shit gets messy, it gets dusty, things get all over the place, like it can get kind of crazy and chaotic. In the middle of it, you're like, what am I doing? Contractors running behind schedule, didn't show up. There's all these things that happen in the process of transformation and change. And that is one of the things that I also want to root in what I talk about in more detail in short form is my personal experiences with personal development, transformation, spirituality, and keeping it real in ways that I'm not going to regurgitate things that you can read somewhere. Sometimes I might add something if I've learned something from someone else, and then extend it and ground it in what my personal experience is. And from that experience, what I know for me to be true. Of course, this is just my experience. I'm putting it out there to be of service. But if that shit doesn't resonate with you, I'm not trying to convince anyone of anything. Like, throw it out. If it does support you in some way, cool. Like, use it to be helpful to you on your journey. And letting your light shine. So I just wanted to put that out there and basically put a fire under my own behind to move before I felt ready and comfortable to move, because I think this is also part of the next chapter in my life of really deepening my willingness to surrender to spirit and not do it on my time. Woo! I'm giving myself a word. Not doing it on my time and when I'm comfortable, because I'm just going to be honest, and doing it when I feel like the spirit is telling me to do it, to move when it says move. My cycle time has gotten shorter, but it's not always immediate yet. So that's my word for today. Stay tuned. I'll do a short intro at another time to tell you, well, I've already told you what to expect. Maybe I don't need an intro, maybe not. We'll see how I'm inspired. But I hope this finds you well, truly and deeply. If this has touched you in some way, if this has resonated with you in some way, if this has inspired you in some way to recognize the mess and progress and to keep moving and maybe ask for help and not wait until everything is quote unquote all tidy and perfect to keep it pushing and moving forward, let me know. Please please subscribe. Please give me a rating. This helps other people that are like-minded find this content. And as I wrap up, just a little bit about me. If you're not familiar with the podcast, I just want to share that I am a spiritual guide. First of all, I'm a student. But then also I'm a teacher because I've been a student for so long. So I'm a spiritual guide and life coach, particularly for the souls that I call the seers, the healers, and the feelers. There's a unique potentiality in them, not more or better than anyone else, but there's a unique set of challenges that I've gone through that I know I can support and want to love on others that are on that particular journey. But if my message and my energy resonates with you and you don't consider yourself that, but want to connect, I welcome you, open arms as well. Again, please like, comment, subscribe. If you make a comment on iTunes, which is what I have access to, I will be sure to shout you out in a future podcast. Peace and blessings.